Hi there guys, and welcome to today's webinar session. Should be about half an hour to go through all the main features that we've got right here. The idea is I'm going to quickly go ahead and go through some of the core P2 trade mechanics first, which is everything to do about the fact you can trade up unrealized profit and the fact that we are changing the way that some of the financing costs are calculated. So I'm going to spend about 5 minutes going through that with a PowerPoint presentation, and then I'm going to jump back on to this beautiful platform right here. This is the new look platform that's going live this weekend, so you guys will be able to have access to it. Probably, I'm guessing, on Sunday, but it'll be all ready for trading once you get going there on Monday as well. But as I said, very first part of today's session is to cover some of the what we call the P2 trade mechanics, and it also gives me an opportunity to go through the risk warning as well at the beginning. Just so you guys go ahead and read that. Just to give you a bit of a flavour of how the session is going to continue on, I'm going to go through the slides, talk about some common questions that some of our clients have had with us while we've been contacting users over here in the UK, and just kind of talk through some examples about what's changing, why we're doing it, and examples of how your margin is going to be affected post the weekend. And then we'll be able to cover lots of questions towards the end of the session as well. I've got a chat function on here, so you guys can go ahead and write me chats throughout the session, but I'll probably respond to them towards the end of the webinar there today. Okay, but hopefully that's given you guys enough time to go through the risk warning. And as I said, this is going to be going forward on the 14th of July, but I fully expect you guys to have access on the 15th, which will be the Sunday. So the very first thing I want to quickly cover is in regards to the margin changes, and this is probably one of the biggest things that you guys will notice. Currently on the next-gen platform, whenever you open a position, regardless how long you hold that position for, or regardless how often, how far in profit or loss the position goes, currently on next-gen, your margin is calculated using the opening trade price. Okay, so if you trade a stock right now and it's £2 a share, then a couple of weeks later it's £4 a share, your margin doesn't change. Okay, so to bring us a lot more into how the rest of the industry works, our margin rates will now be calculated utilizing your aggregated position using the prevailing level 1 mid price. Now, very much effectively what this is meaning is that as your exposure for your position is increasing, so will your margin rate, and that will actually apply in real time. So if you're trading a product and it's got a value of £1 and you place a trade on it, your margin might be 50 quid, for example. And if that product then increases in value to say £2 a share, your margin will obviously increase as the value of your position increases. And obviously if the value of your position decreases, that also has a negative impact on your margin requirement. So effectively, your margin requirement will always change. As your position goes down in value, your margin requirement will drop. As it increases in value, your margin requirement will increase, okay? But don't worry guys, I've got a couple of examples of how this is going to work. This is also the new part right here of the account window, which I'll be coming back into a second. Looks a little bit different to what we've got there just now. This is the old look account window, and this is the new look account window. Okay, so you've still got your account value right here, but you've got your available cash. This is the cash that you physically have on your account, and this is your real-time profit and loss. And these two figures here equal your account value. If you look at your total margin, this is how much money is currently been tied up in current open positions as margin, and this is your available trading resources, okay? And effectively, your available trading resources is simply your cash, plus or minus your profit or loss. And that's a really important one because this affects your ability to open up brand new positions. And as I said, I'm going to cover that in a quick second. So some important notes here. As a result of the change, basically, if you've got current open positions over the weekends, your margins are either going to decrease slightly or increase slightly, depending if you've currently got a winning or a losing position. Obviously, if you've got a losing position, that means that your exposure is slightly less, which means you have to commit less to margin. If you're making a big profit on a position, that means that your margin requirement will increase in tandem with the profit that you go ahead and make. But obviously, if you're making more profit, that means you've got more available equity. So you shouldn't have to put in too much additional cash if that's the case. Predominantly, where this comes from is we have some long-term value clients here at CMC who kind of buy and hold for a long period of time and don't tend to close out for a while, and it's just been a lot more reflective of the rest of the industry. But the big part of why we're doing this was a big response from our clients, which was we want the ability to trade up unrealized profit and loss. Okay, so that means if you're making, say £10,000 on a winning position, currently on NextGen, that has no impact on your ability to open up new positions at all. Whereas with the new release of the platform, if you're making 10 grand profit, even if you don't close out of your position, you'll be able to use that £10,000 as part of your trading resources. And concurrently, if you've got a £10,000 loss on your account, that will actually have a negative impact on your ability to open up new trading positions. Whereas right now, you could have a substantial trading loss, never crystallize it, and still open up brand new positions. So it's just kind of bringing us into line with the rest of the industry, but we wanted to give our clients the ability to trade off unrealized profit as well, which was a very, very big request from clients, especially those that used to trade with us on our old market making platform. So just to quickly cover here exactly the potential impact, I've got two examples on here, and this is both as if you're a buying example. Up here is an example of doing a couple of trades. So we've done 2 trades here in stock ABC, and this is the amount of margin on the opening price. Okay, this is currently how NextGen works just now. So when you open the position, this is your margin, and it remains completely constant. Okay, and one factor you want to consider there is on the new update as of the weekend there, because it's calculated now off the real-time level 1 price. This will obviously go up or down depending if your exposure is increasing. So as your position is moving into profit, what that's meaning is that you're committing more money to margin to handle the position. Obviously, if it then continues to go down in value, then it will be updating there in real time. But basically, if you're holding this position over the weekend and you were in a slight profit, this would be your margin there on Friday, but then your margin requirement would be slightly different on the Monday right there. But that's the example as if the level 1 mid price was lower than the opening price of your existing trade. Okay, so that's an example of a losing trade. That means that on Monday you'll have an extra £225 booked into your account. Basically, it's not being tied up as margin; it's being put back into your account. Okay, and the other example there of a buy trade, but this time the trade's gone into profit for you. Okay, so that means that the level 1 mid price is now higher than the opening trade price. Okay, so that was your margin requirement there on Friday, and then on the Monday morning your position's that little bit higher. As you can see there, these are your 2 positions of the aggregate position. Your position's gone to profit, and that means that there'll be an extra £197.50 increase for this specific example right here. I guess the bottom line, guys, is if your positions are moving into profit and you've got a much bigger exposure as your value for your position increases, you're obviously just putting a little bit more money in for margin. But then conversely, if your position is dropping in value, then you have to commit less money to margin. Okay, so but the main aspect for that is the ability to trade off unrealized profit and loss, which is going to be very, very useful for those of you, especially if you're long-term value traders as well. So a little bit about how you're going to be able to see all this on your next generation account as of the weekend when this all goes live. This is how your account value will look like, or your account window in your history. You'll see this term margin reversal in there, and basically it's not costing you any additional funds. It's basically just moving the funds around on your account. So it's just giving you access to more funds if you are unfortunately in some losing positions. If you're in winning positions, it just means you'll have slightly less free available equity because more of that will be tied up on your positions. Okay, and when you'll notice here on your positions window right here is that we actually show the aggregate of all your positions. So you can see here I've got this UK 100 position with 2 trades running, and we show your aggregate commitment right here. And as I said, this will be updating in real time as the exposure of your position increases or decreases. Okay, so that's an important one to go through. The big benefit for this, of course, is if you've got a big loss on your account or a big profit on your account, this has a real-time effect on your available funds that you've got left to trade with. So remember, your cash plus your profit or loss is basically your available free equity. So again, this benefits guys who are long-term value players who've got lots of profit on the account, and that will allow you to trade up unrealized P&L. So that is a very, very useful feature to have, and I hope I've explained it in a coherent and easy way. But I would always recommend that even after the session, you go back and look through the emails that have been sent out to us, where it goes into a lot more detail and covers a lot more examples if you just want to be 100% sure. Though I also want to say, please contact any of our help desk or sales staff if you want to have a proper discussion one-to-one with any of our guys. They're all very proficient in all the changes that are happening. So please do take advantage of that service as we go along. A quick update about the financing and carry cost charges. A bit of feedback we had always from our clients was, you have so many different overnight financing costs. I really don't understand why you've got so many different labels for them. They all are effectively overnight costs. So there was feedback there to simplify the process, make it easier to understand. So we do take a lot of the feedback on board all the time, and one of the things we decided to do was to replace financing and carrying costs with one single term: holding cost. Okay, and holding cost is basically your overnight costs that you are charged, or I should say credited, as well if you're holding your positions after 10 p.m. UK time. One big difference that's happening now, especially for clients who are trading spread betting and CFDs, is financing for shares and indices are now based off the full trade value. Currently on NextGen, if you've got a 5% margin, we only charge financing on the 95%, and that's been very, very different from the rest of the industry. Almost everybody else charges on the full 100%, and unfortunately in this instance, that means that the overnight financing costs will be slightly increased. But one thing that we are doing is on the fallback to that is currently if you're long or short, we charge our clients overnight financing, and that's a little bit different to the industry norm. So to bring us more into line with everybody else, and for you guys who've been trading with us before, this has been a constant bit of feedback, especially for clients who are taking long-term short positions, is if you're long, you get charged an overnight financing cost. If you are short, you can receive a financing credit, okay? And that's a big difference, especially for clients who are doing longer term short positions. You've been charged an overnight financing cost regardless if you're long or short, and that has been very different from the rest of the industry. So two things to take from this: financing and carrying costs are based are now one holding cost, and that the overnight financing is based on the full trade value and not just the kind of margined amount. Okay, and remember now, for long positions you are charged the financing rate. For short positions you will receive a credit. Okay, assuming that the underlying benchmark rate is greater than our spread. And associated with this change, the holding cost rates for shares and indices for both long and short positions. And this is exactly the same as many of the major global competitors out there, is the benchmark rate, which in the UK would be LIBOR, plus or minus 2.5%. So if you're long, it's LIBOR plus 2.5% for your overnight financing costs. If you're short, it's LIBOR minus 2.5% for short positions. Okay, and that covers the holding cost area, and that really just gives you a bit of an idea of some of the margin changes and overnight financing and everything else like that. But the big benefits to take from that are to leverage of unrealized profit, which is a great update, and that financing and carrying costs have been really simplified and made that a little bit easier to get to grips with. Okay, so moving on to the more kind of juicy stuff now, which is all about the big platform features. One fact you might notice is that this looks a little bit different to what you guys are currently using. In fact, if I just quickly jump onto here, this is the current NextGen platform. You've got the dock along the bottom and all the charts and everything else like that. We've responded a lot to client feedback. We've obviously continued to evolve the platform over the last 2 years easily, and very, very proud of what we've done here. The front end looks absolutely stunning. And we've added a lot of new functionality on there. One of the big bits of feedback we got was make the platform simpler, make it seamless, make it speak to each other. I want more trade ideas. I want to talk about strategy. I want to know more about trader development. I want to become a better trader. I don't want to have to go looking for all the good stuff. Give me some more of the good stuff sooner rather than later. So that's exactly what we've done. So let me start by just covering up the very top of the docs. The docs now been moved up to the very, very top, and you'll see we've got a drop-down toolbar navigation system along the top. Okay, so you've got your product library, watch lists, which are exactly the same as before. So if I just left click on that, that's all my different watch lists on there. You've got our market pulse area. Now, basically, market pulse is a container for all the features that would give you access to all the news, fundamentals, and all of our analyst content out there. And I'm going to go into more detail about what that is in a second. Trading tools, And you might also notice as well is that everything along the top area here is all tooltip to make it a little bit easier to know what everything is. So if I go down to pattern recognition, for example, if you don't want to know what that is, you'll set up the pattern recognition scanner to be alerted to new potential trade technical setups every 15 minutes. So basically everything here is to make it a little bit more exploratory for you guys. There's a lot of really cool functionality on here, and it'd be fantastic if you guys are able to get the best use out of that as well. So Market Pulse is all the fundamentals, news, and analyst content. Trading Tools is all the kind of the automated content. Your account window here is broken into your 3 areas. You've got your positions, your orders, and your history. Payments is exactly the same way as it is just now. And then we've got the support areas as well, which brings you to the trader development section, live events, YouTube, and a whole host of other options. So first of all, let's talk about the product library. As a matter of fact, I've got the product library open right here. One bit of feedback that we had from clients before is the product library was a little bit inflexible, and it takes a fair amount of room. So one of the things that we did, and you might notice here, I can shrink this all the way down to this minimum size right here, is make it a much smaller minimum size. So I tend to always have this in my top left hand corner right here. It just gives you a little more flexibility. That's the smallest size that I can currently make it. If I go across to one of my watch lists right here, you might also notice, and this is again in response to client feedback, you guys are going, well, I want all my modules to be a little bit smaller so I can take better use of the real estate that I've got. Okay, so you can pretty much make most of our modules that same minimum size, so you get that little bit more flexibility. We want to encourage you guys to have as much stimulus on the platform as possible, have access to all the best tools as time goes on as well. Okay, you might notice I've got quite a few things on here. That's my watch list, a bunch of charts, economic calendar, the insights module, my customized Reuters news feed. I like to be exposed to all the good stuff on one screen without having to open up a whole bunch of modules one after the other. So you guys will be able to do this as of Monday as well. So the watch lists work exactly the same way as before, but there's a cool bit of functionality that I'm going to explain in just 1 second. If we jump back onto Market Pulse for a second, I'm going to go to Reuters News. Now, Reuters News service is actually been available since our March release, and it replaced an old service called Dow Jones Live Newswire. And the Reuters service, we have worked very tirelessly with these guys to create, a really powerful, actionable news service with a little bit of a twist. So we've tried to make sure that we don't dilute the service here with lots of news that isn't that useful for traders. So we've worked with Reuters to ensure that it's only the best quality news stories that come through that are related to the products that our clients are interested in. So one thing you'll notice here as well is that this minimum size is the same minimum size as what we had for the product library and the watch list. You click on here and it goes ahead and opens up a new story as per usual. Okay, but one really cool thing that you can do with this now, our clients have asked about this, and we know that so many of our clients all use the watch lists on here. Okay, so I see it all the time. I meet loads of clients here at CMC in London. And we want to give our clients more of a personalized, customized experience. So by left clicking on here, it effectively opens up all your other watch lists, and by clicking on this, it effectively opens up a customized news feed related just to the products within that watch list. And you'll even notice here that I've got one open just now, one with my favorite equities. I've got Sainsbury's, Tesco's, BP, Tullow Oil, Barclays, Agreco, blah blah blah. Obviously, as you stretch that out, it changes shape. I just like to save a lot of space and have it like so. Very cool. You can have as many of these open as you want, so you can have customized Reuters news feeds for each one of your watch lists, for example. And whenever a new story comes in here now, I know it's completely related to my favorite products right here. I know it's product-led, it's actionable, and it's hard-hitting stuff. And I know it's coming from a name like Reuters, which is one of the biggest financial news companies out there. And believe me, we've worked very hard to make sure that the news that comes out here can actually make a big difference to your trading decisions. So as soon as it pops in there, I always click on it right away, see what the story is like, and react to it as expected. Okay, so this is very nice. I would recommend that all of you guys on Monday there get the news module open up. I really like this particular formation I've got. It's not for everybody, mind you, but I really like to have my news up here in the top right hand corner, and I like to link it to my favorite products. I'm not really bothered about other bits of news. Okay, you've got the ability to have an aggregate news feed, no problem at all, but for me this is completely personalized and customized to me, and that's exactly the type of news content I want to go ahead and get. So very nice. Market Pulse then also opens up insights. Now insights, I think is probably one of the most exciting features that CMC is adding into this release. And basically, insights currently already existed on the platform, but we've got lots of feedback from users basically saying, I want to be more plugged into the markets, I want to know what's going on, but there's 10,000 pieces of information out every single day. And our clients, they've heard about Twitter, they've heard about Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube and everything else, but I understand that many of our users aren't that comfortable with utilizing the tools, or they think it's not that useful to them, where they have to create an account, they have to log on, and they have to find who they want to go ahead and follow. So we spoke with all the global market analysts here at CMC, and we're a global firm, we've got offices all over the world, and I've come to an arrangement with the guys in America, and Australia, and UK to publish targeted analyst-created content. Okay, for example, you guys have probably seen today that the markets have gone completely crazy on the back of Bernanke's speech today, which basically has been happening live real time. You notice here that the markets have been spiking up and dropping back down again. Basically, Bernanke's speech causes weaker USD and spike in equities, no short-term end to tapering in sight. And by left-clicking in here, it's basically going to open up that kind of the main story on here. For example, if I just go down to here, I've got another one: jobless claims due tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. and University of Michigan survey due on Friday at 2:55 are the next main drivers of the market. By clicking on here, I can see a little bit more story. US 30 showing that 70% of our clients are short this market today, which is interesting going into the next date releases. UK 100 is a little different, with only 42% long. That's a big decoupling. And whenever you read the stories from here, you've got the ability to launch order tickets directly from here. You can see the real-time price percentage change and points change, and launch charts directly from the story. So as soon as you see the stuff come through, you can act on it, it's actionable, and you can get involved right away. So basically, our analysts, they're all completely plugged into the markets, and as soon as something happens, they're going to go on to, as soon as something major happens, of course, because we're not going to populate insights with just any old news. It's going to be the type of stuff that's going to spark your interest. It's going to be the stuff that you want to be aware of right now. So whenever you log onto the platform, you don't need to look at 4-hour-old commentary. You don't have to go looking for stuff. You go straight to insights, and you'll see in a time series, most recent backwards, exactly what's been going on, the products that are in focus, and the reasons why they're in focus. And I think this is one of the most powerful bits of kit we have on the new updates. And our whole analyst team are really big behind it. And I think it's something that you guys at home will find incredibly useful. It's obviously available as well on all the mobile devices, iPad, iPhone, Android, and the Flex platform. So a lot of the time, if you want to know what's happening in the news, you don't have to read 3-hour-old commentary. Get a chance to see what's happening right now by looking at insights. It's really powerful stuff. And we'll also be including details of any live webinars that we might stream directly onto the platform, any details of like London seminars or perhaps YouTube video content that we've created that's particularly good. We're not going to flood this with lots of unnecessary content. Stuff that goes into insight you really want to be aware of. For example, you had crude oil inventories today. This popped up here. We gave our clients an idea of what the expectations were, and what people should be going ahead and looking at in the back of that. And it's got all the related products. So as soon as you see a bit of news, for example, if we're talking about something in Europe, the related products will be covering like Euro Dollar, the Germany 30, everything that you need at your fingertips to go ahead and potentially place a trade. So it's a very, very cool tool. So please do get a chance to utilize it. It will keep on popping up on the platform every time you log in, unless you make it part of your layout, which I strongly recommend. So I've just popped that right there. And as soon as you're happy with it, just go ahead and click the little save button on there, and it will be permanently saved onto your desktop. So that is very, very cool. So we jump back onto Market Pulse again for a second. Obviously, the economic calendar works exactly the same as usual. This is pretty much an essential piece of kit, guys. I check this absolutely every single day, and then fast forward to tomorrow so I can see it, US jobless claims are out. In fact, I better go ahead and set myself a quick alert for that. So that's due out in the next 17 hours. So that's going to pop up again anyway. That's an old piece of functionality, guys, but it's a major, major part of my layout. If I go back to Market Pulse, you notice there that we've got 3 new sections here. One is CMC TV, one is CMC Twitter, and the other one is CMC Blog. So CMC TV basically brings you directly to our kind of our financial channel. We're going to be adding stuff to this every single day. There's going to be daily pieces, weekly pieces, interviews, there'll be Trader Talk sessions. Every morning, as of Monday morning, we're going to be doing like 3-minute hard-hitting video pieces on here, which will be a camera, probably featuring, unfortunately, my ugly mug, but we'll also be looking at a bunch of core products. What are in focus today? We'll be discussing about what economic announcements are out today or tomorrow, and giving you guys a flavour of client sentiment, details that will be interesting, and highlighting some cool platform features as well. And it's a way of, if you guys log on to the platform, first things you should be checking are your personalized Reuters newsfeed, insights, and CMC TV. Then you're really set up without having to go anywhere else to get the information you need to make more informed trading decisions, and what products that you guys should be going to look at that. One quick question that has come up from somebody is, will this be able to cover multiple trading screens? The answer to that is absolutely yes. You can just drag this across 2 screens, no problem at all. Though I would point out, I've actually had this over 4 trading screens, but the maximum number of charts, as of 10 charts, is still the maximum. But I do recommend utilizing the layout manager along the top here, sir, if you want to go ahead and switch between different layouts. Okay, I'll cover that towards the end as well, but I pretty much utilize every single one of my layouts on here. I've got one screen for equities, one for FX, one for commodities, and everything else as well. Okay, so Market Pulse, CMC TV, guys. It's going to plug you in to the markets a bit more, introduce you guys to us here at CMC in London. A lot of our sales traders are on there, our market analysts like Michael Hewson, who you might see on CNBC and Bloomberg and the BBC. He's constantly doing content on there, really cool stuff. Click on it and watch it. And the daily pieces that I'll be looking at, I'm going to try and tailor it to make sure that you guys get all the information you need first thing in the morning in 2 or 3 minutes or less. Okay, so I'll probably be speaking relatively quickly, but I'll try and make it clear and concise and to the point. It's not going to be any fluff. I just want to get your guys' attention basically and say you guys should be looking at gold, you should be looking at euro dollar and cable. Now ultimately we can't tell you what to buy and what to sell. That's still going to be your guys' decision, but we can point you in the direction of the news that's out today and the products that are moving the most because of it. Okay, so you've got your customized Reuters news feed, you've got your analyst created targeted insights feed, and then you've got your CMC TV. Pretty cool stuff, hopefully. So I'm hoping that you guys will get a lot of benefit out of it. CMC Twitter pretty much speaks for itself, takes you directly through to our Twitter feed. Some really cool stuff on here. You can sign up to webinars, see pictures of CMC and everything else. So Twitter is a big part of the traders tools out there, but not a lot of guys like to sign up to it because I think it's too much hassle. So we've tried to make it as seamless and easy as possible. The final part in here is the CMC Markets blog. Globally, we do loads and loads of PR, we write for financial publications, we do interviews, and we write content and commentary as well. So within here, you basically can see all of our written content, videos, and everything else, all very nicely to see there. You can utilize the filters on here to see, well, I only want to see stuff from Michael Hewson or Colin Tukinski or whoever else. I only want to see pieces on technical analysis. I only want video content. And you know what? I only want to see UK or US material. So you can go ahead and filter this. Again, it's about making it a completely customized experience, personalized to you. Okay, so if you're interested in digesting lots and lots of written content, or just want a bit more of a flavor, a bit more depth than what you get through Insights or CMC TV, the CMC Markets blog will give you everything that you need. Okay, I'm a big fan. We have utilized it before mainly as a PR area, but whenever I show it to clients here in London, they're like, "This is fantastic information. Why don't you make it more readily available?" Because not many of our clients come back to our website once they become clients. So I'm trying to put more things directly within the platform, make it real nice and easy for you. So pattern recognition, price alerts are already part of the platform, so you guys should be quite familiar. I do tend to quite like to have my history and my account balance open at the same time, just so I can see all my pending orders are getting executed and everything else like that. But you can see I've got it nicely set up like this as well. And support is going to be quite cool. So trader development, this was the education zone. So you've got all the guided tours that you need. You've got on-demand education videos. Guys, do get a chance to check that out. And you do have access to our award-winning Trading IQ package. Remember, anything we've covered today about the P2 trading mechanics, if you want to have that deep dive in there, you can go ahead and look at these. These have all been updated with all of the platform changes in there, worked examples, real clear, real simple. We've tried to make it as completely jargon-free as possible. So the trader development area is very useful. two parts I want to draw your attention to. One is live trader events. Now, obviously, you guys probably know about this already, but we have one hell of a trader development program here at CMC. We train our clients from beginner level all the way to intermediate, all the way to expert. We do webinars, one-on-one sessions, trading clubs, active trader networks. We get guest speakers in all the time, and you guys can go ahead and get access to all this stuff directly from here. So just go from the platform, live trading events, and you can see right here, this is today's session. Big thing I can draw your attention to, any guys who live in London, our next Active Trader Network session is on the 17th of July at 5:30. As you can see there, it's like a trading workshop. Bring your laptop, we do live trading, talk all about the markets, share trading ideas together. It's a fantastic session, and you can go ahead and just register your details on there as usual. So periodically, if you're in London or you want to see access to our webinars, go to Live Trader Events and check it out. CMC YouTube, probably one of our most underutilized pieces of technology here at CMC. We probably get about 20,000 views just on the UK YouTube, and we have every global office has got its own YouTube. We have strategy videos, access to CMC TV, whole platform tours, products explained, trader masterclass. It's amazing. But I would probably say that maybe about 90% of the views on our YouTube page, out of those 20,000, aren't even clients of CMC Markets. And I think a lot of it is many of our clients just don't even know that we have such a huge financial channel. It's great PR aspects for CMC, but I think you guys can really benefit a lot at home from getting a chance to see some of these videos, especially if you're feeling that your strategy is not being that successful at home. We've got so many strategy videos. Matter of fact, if I just jump back onto there, CMC TV is great, but if you're not having a good time trading, this trading strategies area is fantastic. We've got stuff on event trading, stop loss strategies, moving averages, how to trade energy, support and resistance, and everything else on here, and all made to be accessible to the widest range of clients possible. So do get a chance to go ahead and check that out. So one thing I should probably look at in a bit more detail is our order ticket, which has changed. So let me just go ahead and just make that a little bit bigger for you guys at home to be able to see. So you notice there that the order ticket now looks a lot like our quote panel. So you've got the sell price on the left-hand side, the buy price on the right-hand side. You can switch between buying and selling on one order ticket. And all you guys at home are probably going, well, that's a great idea. Why do you not do that at the beginning? And I can only apologize for that, but based on your guys' feedback, which is always considerable, we've given you exactly the order ticket you want. So we give you sell and buy price, the low, the high, and the real-time spread. Okay, very, very transparent. We want to give you guys access to everything you want to see right away and get a bit of a flavor of how the markets are reacting without even having to open up a chart, in fact. And from here, you can go ahead and enter in, this is my spread betting platform, I should point out. I'm going to enter in £1 a point. You can see my margin is available right clearly there. I've got my, this is my exposure on here, and if I want to add a stop loss or take profit, I just click here and then click here. And remember, guys, and I love doing this, I set my stop losses and risk management directly on the charts, and you can see your amount and your amount right here, or you can choose to set your stop losses by level, by amount, by points. You can have a trailing stop loss, cancel them very, very easily. Okay, now obviously if you want to go ahead and place a trade, all you have to do is click confirm and your trade's been done. Simple as that. Okay, so the order ticket, very, very streamlined. Try to make it really, really simple and quick. Okay, and lots of clients say they don't want to trade with risk management right away. Obviously, I recommend that you guys do, but if you want to add them, you click on them. If you don't, click off them. And just remember, always enter in your value first, hit return, and then click confirm, and the trade's done. Easy as that. Okay, and that obviously impacts a lot of our mobile devices as well, which is, so the order ticket has been updated and works completely seamlessly across Android, iPhone, and iPad as well. So the charting has had a little bit of an update as well. As you might have noticed here, if I just go ahead and make this go full screen like this, we've got a new series of icons along. Well, some of these icons have existed before. We've given a lot of clients love the grid line shading, so I've decided to make it a little bit easier for guys to change the colors. For example, I like black and white to separate the hours. You might notice that as I scroll in and out on here, the grid line shading can change as you zoom in. It looks at the next interval. Okay, so you can go ahead and change these color schemes to be whatever you want. We've added some new drawing tools on there. We've added some new technical indicators on there, but we've just tried to make the whole experience a little bit more seamless and make it easier to get to grips with. What I really wanted to show you was, remember these icons right here? This is my current trades that are running on the US 30. If I left click on there, what it's going to do is give me the ability to modify my trade directly on the chart. So again, I can have my stop loss, I might take profit order on there, very, very nicely, get a good risk reward ratio, modify, and then close. And as you can see there, I can see my risk management directly in the chart. You know what? I want to go ahead and change that again. Left click on here, and you can go ahead and, you know, I'm going to cancel those risk managements. I don't want them. Modify, close, job done. Really, really easy. I'm a big fan, and hopefully you guys will really benefit from that as well. So I guess one of the things to kind of really kind of take away from this is to try and try to give you as much support as we can with keeping you informed about market events. So, you know, Insights is a big part of that. The customized Reuters newsfeed is part of that. CMC TV is a big part of that. Being able to minimize a lot of these windows to make them smaller, to fit them onto a much smaller screen is a big part of that. I'm just going to jump on to another one of my layouts for now, because I've got a widescreen monitor in my office. But you can see there, this is a standard 4:3 screen. So if you've got a smaller screen at home, as you can see, I've got that loaded up as so. It's very, very easy and seamless to switch between the different layouts. So I do recommend that you guys get a chance to build your own layouts and utilize them to the max extent. You can see here that each experience can be slightly different and slightly tailored. So you can see I've got some of my favorite charts on here. I've got my watch list on the side, my positions, my history, and I always have my Reuters newsfeed and Insights as well. But I'm just going to jump back to my favorite screen. One thing that clients have also asked about a lot, and this is a small one as well, please add seconds onto the countdown clock, onto the clock at the top right hand corner. So it makes it easier to know when one interval is going to change to the other. So if I just jump onto that and make that my candlestick chart, maybe change that to 1 hour. You know, many of our clients are asking, well, I want to be able to know when that candle is going to change to the next. Well, now you do. When that gets to, you know, 20, 59, and 59, and when it clocks over to be 9 o'clock, it will move over into the next interval. So that's just a small bit of client feedback on there as well. I'm just going to quickly change that back to my old style charts so it's nice and tidy. Another thing that we've added, if I just quickly jump onto my positions tab, so I don't really have that many positions running just now, but we do have some clients with over 100 open positions at any one time. If I click that, it expands it all. Click that, minimizes it all. Okay. Loads of clients ask us to do that. It's such a hassle. I just want to be able to easily jump between my positions. Sometimes I want it to take up less space. Sometimes I don't mind if it takes up a little bit more. Well, the good news is now, guys, you've got access to all that whenever you want to. Okay. Again, trying to maximize that best use of space. On the mobile devices, we've made some quite big changes to the front end as well. For those of you who are utilizing the mobile platforms, you're going to love the new updates. We've also made the economic calendar available on the mobile phone, so you can be informed about non-farm payrolls or CPI or PMI or any trade balance information. And remember, your customized Reuters newsfeed and your Insights feed are available on your mobile devices as well. So do get a chance to have a look at that. And we've actually been looking at the figures recently, and about 34% of all of our executions are now done via mobile. So if any of you guys who are watching this are not our clients of CMC on the Flex platform, or the web-based platform, I should say, but you're not yet utilizing our iPhone app or iPad or Android, and you've got one of those devices, it's a strong recommendation that you do, guys. It's one of the most powerful mobile platforms out there. The charting is awesome. The navigation has been really improved. The iPad is a dream to use, guys. So if any of you do have an iPad, do get a chance to check that out. So I've got the chat function open currently. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed that you do have the ability to ask any questions. So please feel free to chat on there. I am going to be around for the next 5 or 10 minutes answering some of those chats. I'll get through them as soon as I can. So please do feel free to say hello. Let me know how the feedback is. One thing that you guys can do, you can do this right now on the old platform as well, but if you've got any feedback, if things that you like or don't like, and guys, you know, if you think this is a great upgrade, you'd be doing me a favor by going on here and going, I like this, and saying, you know, guys, thanks a lot for listening to some of my feedback. It's about time that people started listening to their clients, and I sincerely hope that this upgrade has gone a long way to giving you guys the ultimate trading experience that you've always wanted. And the good news is this isn't the end, of course. It's a constant evolution. This is going to be one of the last kind of larger front end changes that we're doing for a while, because obviously we don't want to make it difficult for you guys to use the platform. You can make it easy. You can make it more sophisticated if you want. And if I just click on here, last bit to show you, and if you want to go ahead and utilize any of the preference sections, you just go up here and click your preferences. Okay. So some quick questions that have come in. Okay, so one of the first questions is when you're going to balance up the Android app to the iPhone, because basically the iPhone app kicks some serious ass. The Android app's very, very good, but doesn't have all the same functionality on there. Ideally, what we love to do is give the same experience on Android, iPhone, and iPad, but the reality, of course, is that the iPad's got more capabilities because it's got a larger screen. The Android platform will catch up to the iPhone very, very shortly, and the guys are working on there right now to make it a little bit nicer. Guys, you should really, if you've got an iPad, download the platform, especially after the weekend. It's so nice to use. It's you can create shortcuts, you can personalize the whole experience. It's absolutely too. So I've actually got another question as well, asking about the level 2 market depth part of the order ticket. So let me just make this a little bit clearer. If I'm a big trader at CMC, say I'm wanting to do £1,000 a point on the US 30, and just allow me to make this a little bit bigger for you guys at home to be able to see it. If I move this over here, you'll notice here that it says level 10 and the spread is increased. Basically, if you're a large trader at CMC, if you do £1 a point, you'll always be trading at the level 1 price. You'll always be paying a 1.4 point spread. By clicking in here, you can see the liquidity that we've got in there. And the real cool thing about this is that if you're a larger value trader, with other firms, if you want to do, say, £500 a point on the Dow Jones, which, believe me, is massive, that's a £7 million position. It's pretty huge. You might have to chop that up and do it in individual orders. One of the real key USPs of CMC is our automated execution. It is seriously cool. And with this automated execution and utilizing the price depth ladder, you can execute £500 a point in one transaction in one go. But you notice there that the real-time spread changes. And that's because obviously the liquidity in this market is changing all the time. But if I then jump back to say £10 a point, you notice there that the spread is going to be 1.4. If you want to do £500 a point, the spread is going to be 5.3. But as I said, with other firms, you'd have to split that up into multiple positions, and maybe in fast-moving markets, you end up getting hurt that little bit on the spread. But it works very, very similar, guys, to how it works just now. But it just looks a bit nicer. So another bit of feedback we've had is, do we have the ability to hide the account value box? Well, guys, just by clicking in here, it's hidden, because not everybody wants to expose their account value details, especially if they've got their friends round, or they're showing anybody else anything on here, or they don't want the wife to see, for example. You can go ahead and you can minimize that as well. Okay. When will we have? So one thing to point out about this platform is going live in the UK, Germany, Singapore, Australia, and New Zealand at the weekend. We are rolling out the next generation platform in all of our other regions, such as Norway, Spain, Italy, and everything else in the European region at the end of August, start of September. So don't worry, guys, who still utilize a market maker. This platform is coming to you very, very shortly, and it's coming to Canada at the very end of the year. So that should be very, very useful. So I hope that is going to be good. So this platform here doesn't have pop-out windows. So I'm getting a question here: do you have pop-out windows? Unfortunately, it doesn't, and that's because it's a web-based Apache Flex platform. So we probably will never have pop-out windows, but on this version of the platform anyway. But one thing I should say is that you can stretch this across multiple monitors. You do have a restriction on the number of charts that you can have open at any one time. I think it's 10. Though what some of our clients do is they just simply open up a demo account, or they have a spread bet and a CFD account together. And what a lot of guys do end up doing is they have one platform open on one screen and another platform open on the other. It's not exactly what some clients are asking, which is, I want to have 50 charts open because I'm really big into short-term trading and everything else like that. But you do have the flexibility to have as many demo accounts as you want. If you're looking at the price action or you just want access to a whole bunch of the trading tools, just make sure that you guys execute your positions through the live platform, and just make sure that you guys get that as well. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up there just now. please feel free to add feedback. So this is what you're going to get as of the weekend. This is what you've currently got, okay? So I hope that I'm highlighting the big difference as to the functionality and how everything can sit. But I'm very hopeful that you guys will find this very useful, and it will make a big difference to your trading. So the trader development stuff, lots of trade ideas and support. You've got more flexibility on your layouts. The navigation system hopefully is a lot easier to utilize. We've tooltipped everything. Do explore. Stuff like pattern recognition is an awesome service. I'd love to get more people on there. CMC TV, well, just to make myself seem a bit more popular, please feel free to have a little look on there and look at some of the video content we're producing on a daily basis. Starting from Monday, it's going to be pretty cool. But it's the insights module that I'm most excited about. I think this is something that can have a big bit of support for clients. The analysts here at CMC are very talented, very experienced, and they cut through the jargon, cut through the market noise to give you the information that you need. Okay. One final quick question is, I think it's either about guaranteed stop losses or guaranteed prices. CMC doesn't offer guaranteed stop losses on the next generation platform, to be fair, we do get asked about it quite a lot, but when we offered it on our old platform, nobody ever used them, and they're expensive for us to implement. If you do want guaranteed stop losses, guys, best thing to do, show your appreciation for guaranteed stop losses. Go to feedback and say, give me guaranteed stop losses. If we get like 20, 30, 40 guys on there all saying, I want guaranteed stop losses, believe me, we have regular committees and meetings with all the senior staff saying, this is the feedback, we should go ahead and do this. So guys, talk with your feet and get on the feedback and just tell us what you want. And myself and my colleague Ryan Doherty, we check this stuff all the time. You might tell we're very passionate about trading and the platform and the update. Please feel free to give us a shout. And we do continuously evolve the platform. There will be some more functionality, some really cool stuff I can't tell you about right now, coming in August, and then some other stuff in October. But it's very cool. Another question that somebody asked about was, is there any way to set up your order tickets to automatically preset a stop loss? The answer to that, sir, is absolutely yes. Just go to preferences, then go ahead to, well, you might notice here that we've got product settings. You can go ahead and set any of you can either do this globally across all products, you can do it to an asset type, or you can go ahead and do it to a specific product. Just drag and drop, like BP, for example. I'm going to drag it into there. You can go ahead and set, order quantities by ticket. You can have your stop loss defaults, your take profit defaults, limit order defaults, your boundaries on or off, and everything else. So it's pretty cool. So I would just go to this page right now, and I would just select defaults. This is going to be for everything. And if you want to have a stop loss by default, click enable. I might do it by percentage. I normally have a stop loss, say 1% away. I'm going to set my take profit by default. I'm going to enable that and set that for 3%. So I've got a 1% stop loss and a 3% take profit on there. So that's, I don't even have to save that. That's live right now. And if I go ahead and open up an order ticket from the US 30, well, it's obviously not done it there right now, but it would go ahead and have the stop loss and take profit details already filled out. Okay, which is absolutely fantastic. Well, guys, thank you very much for listening. I really hope you found it interesting. This session will be available tomorrow afternoon on YouTube. Please share it with your friends. Get a chance to really look over it again. Please do leave feedback on the feedback module. And obviously, guys, Bernanke's been talking while we've been doing this session about the US government. I know this because it's in my insights area on here. No short-term end to tapering. What does that mean for the US dollar and equity markets? Well, check out the platform tomorrow and find out. But I really hope we see you guys on Monday to check out all the platform features for yourself. Thank you very much, and goodbye.